7 a.m. on the West Coast, 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 3 p.m. in London, it's 11 at night in Kyoto, Japan, and in Malaysia, it's 1968. Wait, not yet. I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants now. Now, yes. A little quick on the trigger there for my producer. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to Wednesday. Yay. Big, hearty, hi-ho to Wednesday. Actually, here in Malaysia, it's almost over. And we're through the first half of the week. It is still hot. It's still not windy. It's still muggy even at night. Don't know why. It's just the weather system we're in right now. Haven't had rain again today. Nothing for rain. So my bonsai have needed extra water. So that's been my morning routine. Water the bonsai, catch up on a few podcasts, and then get to work. Luna Amethyst, welcome into the stream tonight. Nice to have you along. Got some stuff for your tatty hair and makeup for your cosplay. Cool, that was fun. And you may draw Cliff. Yay, that's me. Thank you. I look forward to seeing it. Welcome in also to all of our podcast listeners across iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher, TuneIn. We're everywhere. Pocket Podcasts or Pocket Cast, radio.com, GeoSab over in India. And we thank you so much for those of you who like and subscribe to our podcast. We appreciate that very much, and thank you. The download numbers are what matter, and they are going up, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. And again, a reminder that you can always go to patreon.com/JSheldon. That would be me. That's our Patreon page over there. You can help support the stream. You can also find a place where we have edited out and uploaded only all the books we've read, all the classic books, The Wizard of Oz, The Velveteen Rabbit, The Little Prince, and more. And they're all there at a special tier level of membership on patreon.com/JSheldon. And if you join up at the right level, then you get access to all of those. Basically, they're like ebooks, and you'll listen to me reading them. I know you can always find it on the podcast for free, but if you want to help to support the show and find a place where it's all been edited out for you so you can just listen to the books, maybe on your jog or your walk or your run, they're there, and we appreciate your help. Thank you for that. All right. Yeah, it's time. Miko update. Time for Miko update. Miko's doing well. She is once again every night, not just when I'm doing this show, it seems, but every night she goes in. We have the aircon on in the bedroom, and it's facing right down on the bed, and she loves the aircon. Shiba Inus, if you don't know, have a double coat. So they've got this very dense inner coat and then a hairy outer coat. So, hot weather is, it'd be like you wearing 2 fur coats in the weather. By the way, did you see my shirt tonight? I'm back on the Shiba Inu dabbing shirt. Yay! So, yeah, Miko is doing well and enjoying life. We gave her some pumpkin squash, something like that tonight, which she seemed to like. And the last time we offered it to her, she wasn't that interested, but maybe she was extra hungry. She is getting fat, by the way. I don't know if you saw her when she was on the stream a couple streams ago, but she is now up to 10.3 kilos. That's a lot for her. And an average female Shiba Inu is around, the high end is usually about 9 kilos. So she's 1.3 more than what the high end of the average is. But that's all right, because she's still adorable, and we love her to death. I'll try and get her on the show. I don't think it'll be tonight because she's sleeping in the aircon, but, we don't want to disturb the princess. So anyway, we'll try and get her on the show. And by the way, speaking of the show, this is our 90th episode. Yeah, we've done 90 of these bad boys, and that means another 10, and we will hit our 100th show. It's no big deal, but it's kind of cool that it's 100, 50th anniversary, 100th show. I am trying to get a very, very special guest for my 100th show. It ain't easy, but I'm working on it. Been working on it for a few days now. I don't want to announce anything because I'm saying at the moment it's about 30% it might happen, and that's not very high. But I am working on a very special guest for our 100th show. That'll be, let's see, 10 shows from now, whatever day, I haven't even looked. Sometime in August, maybe? Maybe, not sure. All right, on to our thumbnail tonight, which was the stupidity of censorship. Oh, man. And of course, here, in the Censorship Stupid Olympics, I would say that we're trying desperately for that gold medal. We really are. This appeared, and it's going to be a little difficult for you to see. I'm not sure if that's going to be clear or not, but it's from the idiots at CNR Online. So, I mean, this basically says that she is going for representing the country, and in spite, the little bottom headline says something about in spite of criticism or the crap she has to go through. But this dumbass website / alleged newspaper, hard to call it that, took, and if you can see this, let me get my mouse back, pixelated this part of her body in what is otherwise an absolutely incredible picture of her doing a dive. She's obviously one of our divers on the Olympic team. And what would be an amazing capture, look at that spray of water from her hair, and they've taken and completely ruined an otherwise beautiful picture so they don't offend anyone. They basically censored the picture in what I consider to be one of the stupidest, most, but this happens all the time. This is like, oh, don't want to offend anybody. Well, if you're offended, just don't look. And you're an idiot, okay? I don't want to give this sorry excuse for an alleged news outlet any more publicity than it deserves, which is none. But just to point out the fact that these kind of foolish people actually exist. Well, there you go. All right. On the other end of that spectrum, it's not really censorship, but it's a meme somebody posted or a question they posted. And when I saw this, I thought, I don't think there are any words that I can't stand or phrases. And then the more I thought about it, the more I said, yes, indeed there are. This is from I Heart Nap Time, which, it's the story of my life. I love nap time. Words or phrases that other people use that you can't stand. Do you have some? I gotta believe you do. And if you think to yourself, nah, there isn't. There's nothing that people say that bug me. Here we live in the day of everything offends me, but that's not what we're talking about. These idiots that, oh, I'm offended. Yes, so what? Shut up, sit down. As I thought about it, there was one. Now, there were some replies to this, which also made me think of a few more that do kind of yank my crank. To be honest with you is one. And, this goes back to my days as an internal affairs investigator. I was one of the department's top interrogators. I learned a lot about forensic handwriting analysis, interview and interrogation techniques, all those kind of things as a internal affairs for the sheriff's department for Monroe County. But that's actually one that can be a tip-off, not always, but it can be, because people use this a lot. And because of those days back with my training, this thought always occurs to me whenever someone says to me, or I hear somebody say, to be honest with you, and then fill in the blank. Because I ask myself the same question this writer does. Does that mean the rest of the time you were lying? If you say, well, this happened and this happened, and well, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure, whatever. Well, what do you mean to be honest with me? You mean before you were lying and now you're being honest? That is one that bugs me. Can't get blood from a stone. It's all right. I mean, that's an old expression. Yeah, here's one. It is what it is. That is, yeah, it's not my job. That's a good one. Good morning. Okay, I got to tell you about my personal one, and it only happened when I came here to Malaysia. It's similar to be honest with you, but not really. It's you must understand when people are trying to explain something to you or explain why something happened or the reasons for something. I This did not happen in my many decades of growing up in the US. But here, almost everyone says, you must understand this, and this. Well, to me, that makes my skin crawl. You must understand. No, I must not necessarily understand. It's not like it's not like saying you have to get this. The way that it's said here is like you need to understand this regardless. I don't care whatever you're thinking, you have to understand this. You must understand. It seems like a simple thing, but for some reason that expression, every time I hear it, and they use it all the time here, makes me rage. I must not understand. Especially if what you're telling me is an opinion. Then I must really not understand because it's your opinion. I have mine, you have yours, the next guy has his or hers. So no, we must not understand. Nevertheless, it is said all the time. You must understand. Shut up and sit down. All right, so that is, you must understand. Okay? You get it? No, listen, you must understand. That See, that's what I'm talking about. Hang on, coffee time. Okay, that's always weird to the podcast listeners because they're listening to just the audio and suddenly I just go dead. I'm still here. I'm just having a sip. And yes, this is coffee in one of our Miko merchandise you can find on twitch.tv, J. Sheldon No Pants. It's our 15-ounce coffee mug with Miko and our show logo on the back. And you can pick one up over there along with some other great merch at twitch.tv/J. Sheldon No Pants. See, I just throw these little things in here and there. Hopefully somebody will go do that. You know, like our Patreon. Search out J. Sheldon on Patreon. Support the show. Okay, this story popped up, and I'm going to show you the story, but then I'm going to take it off screen because, frankly, for some reason they've made this they've mentioned the race of the people involved, and the story works just as well and is just as funny if you don't mention the race of the person involved. So this is the post, and this is the woman. Oh, it looks like one of the newspapers here had at this picture. They've completely blanked out the naked woman in the taxi. Okay, so anyway, let me take this off screen because, like I said, they've made this a race thing, and it does not need to be. So I will unrace it and tell you the story. Very funny. The story of the naked woman. A fully naked woman goes up in a taxi whose driver is an old man, and she has no clothes on. And she opens the back door of the taxi, and the driver turns around in his seat and looks the woman up and down from top to bottom several times. And the worried woman asks the driver of the taxi, "Have you never seen a naked woman before?" And the taxi driver answers, "I'm not looking at you because you're naked. I'm worried because I'm watching, and I don't see where you have the money to pay me." The moral of the story is focus on business and not the distractions. It's a very good story. Naked woman gets in the cab, and the only thing the cab driver thinks is, where do you keep your money? How are you going to pay me? Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, man. All right, coming up, of course, we will have the Jungle Book for you. We'll continue with our story. Now, we're a little more than halfway through the story of the Jungle Book. And that means about this time we have to start thinking about what book we're going to do next. If you have suggestions, you'll see it across the scroll here. nopants@jsheldon.com. You can email me about anything, really. Stuff we talk about, things you'd like me to talk about. You want to react, you want to have an opposing opinion. You can always call in the show on Skype. Just Skype, I'm not wearing pants. You'll find us with this logo over here. And call into the show. We always welcome phone calls live while we're on the air. But also you can email me, nopants@jsheldon.com, and I reply all your emails. We get quite a few, actually. Hey, Darren Chow, Sandman, Neil Gaiman. I tried that, but his stuff is not public domain. I can't read it. I wish that I could because it's brilliant, but I can't do that. I did research that, checked it out. Anyway, nopants@jsheldon.com. You want to send me a suggestion, put them in the chat like Darren just did, or whatever. Send me a message on Facebook if you want. Even on our No Pants page, you can do it there too, or YouTube, or twitch.tv, any place, by all means. Excuse me. Okay. So we also try and pass along little inspirational or funnies and things like that. And I found this. I rather like this. It's from LL, which is Lim or Lee Musings, I guess it is. I just like to give credit where credit's due here. Yeah, LL Musings. I cannot, listen up. I cannot say that I know everything about life, but I can say this. There have been times when life has kicked my ass, and times when I've kicked its ass. There have been moments when I would have chosen death over going on, and there have been moments when death chose me. At times, I've been my own destructor, and all I knew was darkness. My body was a battleground, and I have more scars than I care to count. I had a closet full of regrets and a heart full of blades. It all seemed so futile, a sick cycle that would never end. And if there was only one thing I could do. So, I beat down who I was with bloodied fists, and I began feeling proud of who I was becoming. I had earned all the scars that I wore. It was a badass. I was a badass for making it this far, and for that, I could hold my head high. Boom. Nice. From LL Musings over on Facebook. Found that, saw it, wanted to share it because it's very nice. And at this point in most of our lives, dealing with pandemics and lockdowns and house arrests and all the ridiculous, silly rules that, thanks for liking the stream, Darren. All the silly rules that we are forced to live with. It's nice to get a little inspiration. I found another one, wanted to share, not to, wax too philosophical on this same topic, but it's nice. It really is. I love these sort of things. And frankly, I think we need them these days. We need more, instead of, oh, look how crazy the infected numbers are and how many people have died and, wear a mask and all that other stuff. Once in a while, it's nice to just take a nap or take a break or a pause and think about something else or think and listen to something inspirational. And I do my best to try and pick these out and bring them to you when I can find them. So, we've got another one coming up here. Ways to live a life. And some meaningful words here from Jamie Varon. There's so many ways to live a life. Try some people on. Take risks. Reinvent yourself. What is the point in staying the same? Surround yourself with people who support your growth. Grow so much you don't recognize yourself in a year. This is your life, yours. It's wonderful to be thoughtful to others, but you don't need to cramp down to appease them. There's a difference in being generous as opposed to being a martyr. Nobody deserves a beautiful life more than you do. And I hope you don't cut yourself off from your desires and joy. And if you ever do, that you come home to yourself. You're allowed to dream. You're allowed to pursue. It may be slow. You may need to carve out pockets of stolen time here and there, but you are allowed to reinvent yourself. Become many versions of yourself. Blossom, bloom, stand up to your full height. You are not the supporting character in someone else's story. You are the lead. Take it. Those last two lines are so critical. You are not the supporting character in someone else's story. You're the lead in your own story. Take it. Brilliant. We love that. Ah, man. Talk about inspirational writing. That's amazing. Wow. All right. Yeah. It is Wednesday night. That means we've got 2 more work days for the week to go. Yay. And then the weekend comes. It is time now to move on into our book. We've done about a half an hour, and we've got about a half an hour to go, maybe a little less. And our book has been and will continue to be for a little while, The Jungle Book. This book is, like almost everyone we've read, absolutely nothing like the movies. It's dark. It's weird. And, you know, I have to tell you, I have to be honest. Here you go. To be honest with you, referring to something we talked about earlier in the show, when I saw the film, the animated Disney film of The Jungle Book, I don't ever remember recalling or thinking to myself, this is taking place in India, although the book does take place in India. And when I was reading this, I realized, yeah, it's set in India. And it just, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I don't think the Disney animation of The Jungle Book mentions that it's India. You know, there's not like a thing across the screen that says India 1857 or something that I remember. I haven't seen the film in ages. But it's just a little weird side note that, again, because the differences in this book, the book is dark. The book is not a bubbly, you know, Baloo singing songs and they're dancing in the forest. It's a long way from that, folks. Well, yes, of course, Mowgli was an Indian kid, but I don't know, maybe just because I grew up pretty blind to race, I didn't think about the fact that Mowgli was Indian. I thought he was just a jungle kid. I don't know. What do I know? I was 8. Yes, not an American Indian. True. Excuse me again. All right. Just got to clear my throat so we can get into the book here. And it is indeed the book of The Jungle Book, Rudyard Kipling's amazing novel. And so we will push forward and go right on and pick up where we left off last time, which was that Shere Khan is dead, the tiger. He's been skinned, and the village people have basically been told by Mowgli, go away. So they have to take the hide and hide it away and also take the buffaloes home. And that was what we heard last from Mowgli when he said, now we must hide this and take the buffaloes home. Help me to herd them, Akela. The herd rounded up in the misty twilight, and when they got near the village, Mowgli saw lights and heard the conches and the bells in the temple blowing and banging. Half the village seemed to be waiting for him by the gate. "That is because I have killed Shere Khan," he said to himself. But a shower of stones whistled about his ears, and the villagers shouted, "Sorcerer! Wolf's brat! Jungle demon! Go away! Go away! Get hence quickly, or the priest will turn thee into a wolf again. Shoo, Buldeo! Shoo!" The old tower musket went off with a bang, and a young buffalo bellowed in pain. "More sorcery!" shouted the villagers. "He can turn bullets. Buldeo, that was thy buffalo." "Now what is this?" said Mowgli, bewildered as the stones flew thicker. "They are not unlike the pack, these brothers of thine," said Akela, sitting down composedly. "It is in my head that if bullets mean anything, they would cast thee out." "Wolf! Wolf's cub! Go away!" shouted the priest, waving a sprig of sacred tulsi plant. "Again? Last time it was because I was a man. This time it's because I'm a wolf? Let's go, Akela." A woman, it was Mesua, ran across to the herd and cried, "Oh, my son, my son! Thou say they art a sorcerer, and you can turn yourself into a beast at will. Well, I do not believe. But go away, or they will kill thee. Buldeo says thou art a wizard, but I know thou hast avenged Nahu's death." "Come back, Mesua," shouted the crowd. "Come back, or we will stone thee." Mowgli laughed a short, ugly laugh, for a stone had hit him in the mouth. "Run back, Mesua. This is one of the foolish tales they tell under the big tree at dusk. I have at least paid for thy son's life. Farewell, and run quickly, for I shall send the herd in more swiftly than their brickbats. I am no wizard, Mesua. Farewell." "Now, once more, Akela," he cried, "bring the herd in." The buffaloes were anxious enough to get to the village. They hardly needed Akela's yell, but charged through the gate like a whirlwind, scattering the crowd right and left. "Keep count," shouted Mowgli scornfully. "It may be that I have stolen one of them. Keep count, for I will do your herding no more. Fare you well, children of men, and thank Mesua that I do not come in with my wolves and hunt you up and down your street." He turned on his heel and walked away with the lone wolf, and as he looked up at the stars, he felt happy. No more sleeping in traps for me. Let's get Shere Khan's skin and go away. No, we will not hurt the village, for Mesua was kind to me. When the moon rose over the plain, making it look all milky, the horrified villagers saw Mowgli, with 2 wolves at his heel and a bundle on his head, trotting across at the steady wolf's trot that eats up the long miles like fire. Then they banged the temple bells and blew the conches louder than ever, and Mesua cried, and Buldeo embroidered the story of his adventures in the jungle, till he ended by saying that Akela stood up on his hind legs and walked like a man. The moon was just going down when Mowgli and the 2 wolves came to the hill of the Council Rock, and they stopped at Mother Wolf's cave. "They have cast me out from the man pack, Mother," shouted Mowgli, "but I come with the hide of Shere Khan to keep my word." Mother walked stiffly from the cave with her cubs behind her, and her eyes glowed as she saw the skin. "I told him on that day when he crammed his head and shoulders into his cave, hunting for thy life, Little Frog, I told him that the hunter would be the hunted. It is well done. Little brother, it is well done, said a deep voice in the thicket. We were lonely in the jungle without thee. And Bagheera came running to Mowgli's bare feet. They clambered up the council rock together, and Mowgli spread the skin out on the flat stone where Akela used to sit, and pegged it down with 4 slivers of bamboo. And Akela lay down upon it, and called the old call to the council. Look, look well, O wolves. And exactly as he had called when Mowgli was first brought there. Ever since Akela had been deposed, the pack had been without a leader, hunting and fighting at their own pleasure. But they answered the call from habit, and some of them were lame from the traps they'd fallen into, and some limped from shot wounds, and some were mangy from eating bad food, and many were missing. But they came to the council rock, all that were left of them, and saw Shere Khan's striped hide on the rock, and the huge claws dangle at the end of the empty dangling feet. It was then that Mowgli made up a song that came up in his throat all by itself, and he shouted it aloud, leaping up and down on the rattling skin, and beating time with his heels, until he had no more breath left, while Gray Brother and Akela howled between the verses. Look well, O wolves, have I kept my word? Said Mowgli, and the wolves bayed yes, and one tattered wolf howled, Lead us again, O Akela, lead us again, O man cub, for we be sick of this lawlessness, and we would be the free people once more. Nay, purred Bagheera, that may not be. When ye are full fed, the madness may come upon you again. Not for nothing are ye called the free people. Ye fought for freedom, and it is yours. Eat it, O wolves. Man pack and wolf pack have cast me out, said Mowgli. Now I will hunt alone in the jungle. And we will hunt with thee, said the 4 cubs. So Mowgli went away and hunted with the 4 cubs in the jungle from that day on. But he was not always alone, because years afterward he became a man and married. But that is a story for grown-ups. And this is Mowgli's song that he sang at the council rock when he danced on Shere Khan's hide. The song of Mowgli Mowgli am singing, let the jungle listen to the things I have done. Shere Khan said he would kill at the gates in the twilight, that he would kill Mowgli the frog. He ate and he drank. Drink deep, Shere Khan, for when wilt thou drink again? Sleep and dream of the kill. I am alone on the grazing grounds. Gray Brother, come to me. Come to me, Lone Wolf, for there is a big game afoot. Bring up the great bull buffaloes, the blue-skinned herd bulls with the angry eyes. Drive them to and fro as I order. Sleepest thou still, Shere Khan? Wake, oh wake, here I come, and the bulls are behind. Rama, the king of the buffaloes, stamped with his foot. Waters of the Wangunga, whither went Shere Khan? He is not Iki to dig holes, nor Mao the peacock, that he should fly. Is not Mang the bat to hang in the branches. Little bamboo that creaked together, tell me where he ran. Oh, there he is, ahoo, there he is. Under the feet of Rama lies the lame one. Up, Shere Khan. Up and kill. Here is meat. Break the necks of the bulls. He is asleep. We will not wake him, for his strength is very great. The kites have come down to see it. The black ants have come up to know it. There is a great assembly in his honor. Aquila, I have no cloth to wrap me. The kites will see that I am naked. I am ashamed to meet all these people. Lend me thy coat, Shere Khan. Lend me thy gay striped coat that I may go to the council rock. By the bull that brought me I made a promise, a little promise. Only thy coat is lacking before I keep my word. With the knife that men use, me his coat for the love that he bears me. Pull, gray brother, pull, Aquila. Heavy is the hide of Shere Khan. Through the night, run swiftly with me, my brothers. We will leave the lights of the village and go to the low moon. Waters of the Wangunga, the man pack have cast me out. I did them no harm, but they were afraid of me. Why? Wolf pack, ye have cast me out too. The jungle is shut to me, and the village gates are shut. Why? As Mang flies between the beasts and the birds, so fly I between the village and the jungle. Why? I dance on the hide of Shere Khan, but my heart is very heavy. My mouth is cut and wounded with the stones from the village, but my heart is very light, because I have come back to the jungle. Why? These two things fight together in me, as the snakes fight in the spring. The water comes out of my eyes, yet I laugh while it falls. Why? I am two Mowglis, but the hide of Shere Khan is under my feet. All the jungle knows that I have killed Shere Khan. Look well, O wolves. Aye, my heart is heavy with the things I do not understand. Whoa. I told you this was dark. Dang. Oh, man. All right, next time up, we're going to continue on with the Jungle Book. It's a new chapter called The White Seal. Not a part of the film that I remember. But anyway, that'll be coming up next time from Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. Amazing. Wow. All right, guys. Hey, Rira, Chase Sampson. I'm sorry, I screwed up your name. All is well. Thank you, and thanks for the hello. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the hello. All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of your day if you're on that part of the planet. Don't forget to like and support, share not only our stream, but also go to patreon.com/JSheldon. You'll find us there. You can help to support the stream by joining up. And also on rumble.com, JSheldon No Pants. Check us out there if you want to watch the video playback. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can see all the video version of our crazy show. So that's going to do it. Until next time, thank you for watching. I am Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants. Good night, everybody.